I'm a recording gospel artist from Nairobi, Kenya. I have a background in music production and studio sound engineering, but my passion is in film production and photography and videography.
Hey.
Yes, that's about it.
Hey, wow. We are sorry.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
thank you so much for being here with me today. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. Today I'm all the way in Kenya.
Yes. From the 254.
East or West home is the best.
Definitely.
Yeah. So we've been so far looking at the topic of relationships and situationships, and we
Right.
have really learned a lot so far. Where relationship, it's something that you contain, and it's also a connection. And
Right.
when the purpose is not known, you cannot contain it or connect with it. So
Yes.
we just wanted to obviously listen out to other people's views with these two aspects that almost look quite the same, but they're not.
That's right.
And
Mm-hmm.
where maybe some of us go wrong, and yeah, we take it from there.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
We're talking about relationships, right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So, in my very simple definition of relationship is not only having a connection with somebody, but building something from the ground up,
Yeah.
which will lead into something more meaningful, something more purposeful.
Right.
Yes, that's usually the direction the title relationship heads to. Or when somebody hear about relationship, they know it's two people trying to build a foundation into something else.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, basically it's a very wide it's a very it's a very wide topic, depending on and on what specifically we're talking about relationship. But since you just asked for the definition, that's my definition so far.
Okay, very good. And what about a situation? What is a situationship to you?
Well, a situationship is wanting the same thing that a relationship offers, but with no commitment.
Okay.
For example, I'm sure you've heard of people saying, "Oh, I'd like to do 1, 2, 3 with you, but with no strings attached."
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Exactly. So that is an introduction to a situationship, because when that happens, somebody may mutually not want commitment, or rather, both parties may not want commitment at that particular time because of maybe something they've been through. Maybe it's a past experience. Maybe it's a hurtful past. Maybe, you understand, there are many things that give people trauma when it
Yes.
comes to relationship. Maybe they're in an abusive relationship, or they were in a relationship that one partner or the other took advantage of them financially, emotionally. Taking advantage is not just sexually, as most people think. It could be one partner is more stable than the other, and this other partner is using this other one as like we call them here, as a cash cow, or an ATM card to just get their need once, actually. Because when it comes to one partner taking advantage of the other, it's usually not from a mutual, you understand, it's one-sided. One person wants to be opportunistic and have a parasitic mindset as far as being with that other person is concerned, because of what they can offer. It could be financial security. It could be even a place to live. There are many people that got themselves in a situation they don't have a place to live, and the easiest, fastest way to get a place to live is act some type of way about somebody, like they're interested, and shortly after they are already living together, and soon after the person will realize it's not genuine, because the person will do things based on that condition as long as they have a roof over their head or they have some type of comfort, you understand. So when that is removed, the situation changes. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yes.
So they're looking for a way out. I like to call them the SBS. Those are
Right.
the SBSs. They're called success benefit seekers.
Aha. Okay. That's well, that's a definition of PhD holders, but since but it's a nice way to put it. Yeah, you put it exactly the way I put it, but you phrased it just perfectly. Yeah, you're right.
Wow, yeah. You also mentioned about situationship. It's like the no commitment and no strings attached. But sometimes
Right.
you find there are people in a situationship not because they want to be in it. It's because the other person hasn't really told them what they are looking for. So
Okay.
you find some people maybe are in situationship because they assumed through the signs the person is giving them they are ready for a relationship. I often say just because you're available it doesn't mean you're ready.
Right.
So
Right. Well,
yeah.
True. True. I think that your definition is right as well.
Yeah.
That's why I began by saying sometimes it starts with they agree they don't want to be involved emotionally.
Right.
And usually situationships, they begin with a favor. They need a sexual favor, they need a physical favor, they need some form of intimacy, but with no strings attached.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, when that happens, or it usually it doesn't happen once. It's not like a one night stand. You just happen, and you guys have get somewhere and get intimate, and it's done. Usually, situationship is that an agreement two people make to be intimate over a period of time that they feel they need that emotional connection. But unfortunate thing is, after a while, either of the party will start catching feelings, because they will start. Probably they will be enjoying that physical touch and intimacy. Maybe they never enjoyed that level of physical fulfillment, or in most cases it's a physical connection. So when one party they start getting into the rhythm of being in that situationship, one of them somehow drops the guard and allows the floodgate of emotions to come into the picture. After that happens, it will be hard to again shut that door, because they will start. Now it won't be just come, we happen, then you go your way. It will be like, why have I not seen you? Why are you not answering my text? Why are you not? You understand? And which brings you points, which was like some people assume. Well, there are two ways to look at it from my perspective. There's the perspective where you both came and decided, let's have something that has no strings attached. Then at some point, one person catches feelings or starts having feelings towards the other person, love feelings. They feel like they're in love with them or whatever. At that point, they've already gone past the agreement of no feelings attached. So this other person will start acting, start ghosting this other person, because they are avoiding commitment. The entire arrangement of situationship is how it begins is no commitment clause. Let's just have fun, let's just meet, let's just hang out, do whatever we feel want to do, but no commitment. You understand? So when it gets to that point and one person catches feelings, they find themselves into now what we call a situationship, because now they feel some type of way for one person. The other person probably doesn't feel the same way, or will start looking like they're being clingy. You understand? So those to me are I think my two ways of defining the situationships, or how they begin and how they get there.
Wow. So I'm also hearing basically situationships do not like accountability.
Exactly.
Wow. So,
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, the first agreement is no strings attached. So most of will go by the agreement was I'm not trying to catch feelings, I'm not trying to this, I'm just trying to have a moment to release some stress, to do 1 2 3 with somebody of the opposite sex, and that's what I need right now. I don't need a commitment. Usually they it's just they use it as a stress reliever or something to just occupy their mind at a certain period of time or life they are going through something, or they just need somebody around but not in a commitment level, because they probably feel somebody from a commitment level will add to the stress they are feeling. Sometimes men just need, for example, if I speak from for our gender, sometimes some men just need to just sit by themselves and just think, just try and relax. Then after they've stayed for them by themselves for a minute, they are feeling like, okay, now I'm feeling lonely, let me get somebody. And shortly after they get into a situationship, when the lady now starts responding with feelings, now again he gets upset, and he's the one who began the whole scenario in the first place. So basically that's my understanding of how that goes.
Wow, that's quite interesting. I recently wrote a book. It's called 60/40, and although I haven't written it from an expert point of view, but I always say our experiences make us experts because we are able to give another person some wisdom.
Right.
But I've mentioned something about the kind of people who look for someone just to occupy their feelings. You're passing time with those people, and often you find, maybe as a serious person, you don't often know when you're in a relationship or a situationship, because it's quite hard to understand from the signs maybe the other person is giving you. At first, maybe when they approached you from a point of they want something with you as a relationship, but somehow down the line you're finding it a bit hard to identify where you stand. So how can you tell the difference where you stand as a serious person?
All right. I think it's the as the wisdom to look at the green flags and the red flags. I'm sure you're aware of green flags and red flags.
Yes.
So one of the let me begin with a relationship. A relationship, when somebody is interested in a relationship, first they want to know you. Where you're from or what you do isn't necessarily like the first things that come to mind. What they're interested in is you as a person, who you are, what you're about, what's your vision, what are your ethic standards, what are your beliefs, what are your principles, just that in a nutshell, as part of knowing a person. So you can tell the person is more interested in really knowing, who such and such a person is, what is their passion, what drives them, what is their, what keeps them engaged, what, those things that, give them a drive in what they pursue. Just generally, basically, in a nutshell, somebody who's serious about relationship, they'll be more intentional in knowing you as a person. Then number two, then number two, this is just I'm not like the encyclopedia of relationships. I'm just giving from my little understanding of the subject. So number two, that person would have like a guideline of what he expects, what he wants to build, the direction he wants to go with it, and in that process.
Yes. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
That's
Yeah. Sorry. That's for relationship. I don't know if I'm supposed to speak for both relationship and situationship.
No, just speak from whatever, any. We're talking about both.
Okay. So that you can have the comparison. So that's also number 2 for somebody who's in a relationship, or rather who's serious about having a relationship. Then probably it's not a list, but just pointers. Then lastly, there would be they will be ready to see what they can work on or improve for that foundation to grow like together. Most of people who are like serious about relationship, that is one of the green flags, or rather one of the things you look at as a positive. When somebody says, what do you think I can grow in? What do you think I can improve? What do you think I can change? That's somebody that shows you their mindset is going in the right direction. But well, like I said, situationship is, most of it is just temporary pleasure. They avoid commitment by all costs. They avoid any responsibility, being asked anything about where they are, what they're doing, what their plans in life are. Somebody who's not interested in a relationship would not even answer that.
Yes.
So you would definitely know their needs are short term. They're just, they're pleasure based. Actually, for situationship, the easiest to tell from a relationship is their needs are pleasure based, while a relationship, their need is growth based.
That's true. Wow. That's quite deep, and I think we have picked up so many points from this conversation. Personally, I have understood that questions are a form of interest, and
right.
And also, if you want to know where someone is going, look at what they're asking.
Right.
Yeah, so it's really been a great conversation. Even if it has been a short one, but we have picked up quite a lot of points from this topic. And I truly appreciate you being here with me today. It's an honor. And once again, where can people also find you and your music?
Okay. First of all, thank you for having me. Thank you for hosting me on the show or on your podcast. On my music, I'm on all social media platforms. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube as well. I'm on Facebook. I go by the name Martyn Da Psalmist. I'm gonna spell it for you: MARTYN dash DA dash Psalmist, PSALMIST, Martyn Da Psalmist. On all social media, I use the same name. That's how you can get me. On YouTube, all my visuals are there as well. And if you're outside the region, I'm from Africa basically, but if you're in Europe, in the United States, or anywhere outside Africa, you can stream my music on every music streaming platform like Spotify, Deezer, Tidal, Apple Music, Amazon Music. All my music is there. All you need to do is just go there and search my name, Martyn Da Psalmist, and you can find my music there.
Well, thank you so much. I should have asked you to sing for us, but I'll let people go and search for your music. And thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right.